Flosstube! Welcome to my channel. I'm Jessie and this is Bobo Jessie Stitches and this is the November 2021 Flosstube. I record on a monthly basis now. For everyone who is returning, welcome back, and for those of you who are visiting and stopping by for the first time, welcome in. I hope that all together we have a good time. I'm always happy to have new friends join me. So it's been a busy month, but overall, I worked on 5 projects, and so what I have for you today is I have a finish and an FFO, a fully finished object. So I finished it and I got it fully finished. I have another fully finished object, and I had 3 new starts this month, and then I had 1 whip work in progress coming into the month. And so overall, for the entire month, I did 11,807 stitches, which around 11,000 stitches is about what I do in a month since I started tracking my monthly stitches, which was probably about midsummer is when I started tracking that data. And so it's for me because I count stitches for various stitch groups, and so I kind of started thinking about, well, how much do I do in a month? And so that's where it kind of came from. So this is the second time I'm recording this video. The first time I recorded it, I had no sound. So my apologies if this is going to end up feeling fast. I hope it doesn't, but let's go ahead and get going. So first, one of the things I did forget on my first time recording it was to bring up a couple of Flosstubers, and I wanted to go ahead and bring this up first so I don't forget again. So first one is somebody I've already recommended before, which is Crafty Wren. They are a multi-crafter, and as a result, they are now going to be splitting apart their stitching content from their crafting content. So they now have a channel that is called Stitchy Wren, and so all that link's going to be down there below. I still recommend their videos. They're a lot of fun, and they have definitely been up in their game in terms of editing and stuff. So definitely go check them out. And the other person that I wanted to mention was Misfit Stitches. I think that a lot of people are already watching her, but really great videos. Really like her stuff. She has these great little title cards that she uses throughout her videos. Very well spoken. She's always talking about how awkward she is, and I giggle because I don't find her that awkward. I find her to be introverted, but as an introvert myself, I think that I have a lot of empathy for that, because I think that introversion is usually looked at as awkwardness by people who are not introverted. But when I see another person like that, I feel of them as a kindred spirit, so to speak. So go check those videos out. All right, now let's get to some stitching content. All right, so I do have 3 of my items that I'm going to be showing you today are gifts for family members, and so in order for them to watch this video, if they are I don't know, I still don't know if any of them watch my videos. I don't think they do, but just in case, I'm going to show you the projects that I've been working on first that anyone can see. Then I'll go to haul, and then after haul, I'll go back to the 3 projects that I worked on that are for gifts, so that way my family members who are watching by any chance are able to walk away without worrying about being spoiled for their gift giving occasion that may be coming up. And then last but not least, at the very end, I'll talk about plans not only for November, but also going into December in 2022, November and beyond. So, all right, so let's start. So first up is that I actually don't remember if this is a new start. I think it is for October. So I'm going to go ahead and show it to you. So this is I Search for an Ancestor by the Laurel Witch. That is what it will look like when it is done. And I know the quote's really hard to read, so I'll go ahead and read it for you. It says, I search for an ancestor who would have been considered a suffragette, harlot, witches, mystics, queens. And I really took to that a lot. And Michelle Bindi is already hosting a stitch along, and I'm just tagging on to it, which is the Laurel Witch SAL. So if you are stitching any of the Laurel Witches, I hope that you will join into the SAL and post about it on your Facebook. On Facebook. your Instagram. That's where we all are. So here we are. Very small start, only about 200 stitches into it. And here it is. I am stitching this on 32 count Lugana. This is Haunted by Seraphim Hand-Dyed Fabrics. And I'm using the called for DMC. I am planning to do a skin and hair conversion, but otherwise everything else I intend to use the called for. So here it is, a little close up. But yeah, that's it. Not a whole lot, but that's okay. I believe that progress is progress, right? Okay, so that's my first one. And then the second project that I can go ahead and show you, actually, there's 3 projects I can show you, is I did do unboxings for Flossoween. If you were watching those Flossoweens, I did unboxings for Forbidden Fiber Co.'s 13 Days of Halloween box, as well as the Black Needle Society's Trick or Treat box. I am not going to show you any of those hauls today. You can always go back and watch those videos if you wish. I think altogether, if you were to watch all of them, they'd be about 3 hours, which seems like a lot, so you might not want to. But that's where they are if you do want to see them, and other people have done unboxings as well. But I am going to show you the patterns that I worked on. I chose to work on the Forbidden Fiber Co. patterns. So this is Haunted House. So this is what it will look like when it's done. The design is by Kelly King. Everything is obviously a kit, so I'm using everything that's Forbidden Fiber Co. The fabric I chose was a 32 count Belfast linen opalescent, and she has called it Dappled Moonlight. But this is going to be what it looks like when it's done. And this is how far I got in October. So there we are. It's about 40% done, and I enjoy this. This is a fun stitch. It's fast. I mean, it's pretty fast. I mean, obviously, I've stitched on it most nights, maybe 1 to 2 hours tops. But so yeah, really excited about that. I don't think I'll wait until next October to stitch on it, but it is going away for winter stitching for now. Okay. Next up is Sailor Moon Squad. This is the project that I picked for the stitching marathon for a good cause that was hosted by Michelle at Michelle Bendy, Aaron at 2 Martini Stitcher, and Resist Stitch on Instagram. Melissa? I think it's Melissa. I'm so sorry, Resist Stitch, if I got your name incorrect. My apologies. I did not do a whole lot of time on it in month 2, unfortunately. This was a busy month in that we had a lot of events and we were out of town, and and so unfortunately it's just not something that travels well. If I'm going to do stitching for a good cause in the future, I probably will. I'm a bit of a social justice warrior, so I'm always going to support any efforts to support nonprofits. I'm going to probably switch it. I saw some other stitchers just doing 100 hours for the 2 months and things like that. And I think that makes much more sense because it gives me a flexibility to kind of stitch whatever I want that makes sense, especially if I had gifts that I'm working on and that kind of stuff. But anyways, neither here there. But I am working on Tilts and Crafts Sailor Moon Squad. The artwork is by Daniel Kordick. This is what it will look like when it is done. And I'm going to go ahead and insert a picture right here of what it looked like the last time you saw it. And as I said, I probably put in about 4 or 5 hours in addition to on this since you last saw it. And here is my progress. A lot of confetti in that 4 to 5 in those few hours. So I basically filled in everything on top. You can barely see it. There's a couple of stitches over here and over here. I didn't have the floss, so I had to go purchase those. But otherwise, everything was just filling in some confetti, and I started filling in her eyes, which takes quite a bit of time because it is only just a handful of stitches here and there. I obviously, not obviously, you may not know, I do a modified cross country. So basically what I do is I pick a certain amount of squares in a block. For this project, it's about 30. But really, honestly, it really turns into the whole row. Anything that's already there, I kind of look to see if I can move the color over and do that. So I pick a color and I stitch all the colors that are within that block that I've designated, whatever that may be, and then I fill in as I go. And in this particular case, I do typically go in a form of a diagonal, but right now it's going row by row effectively. When I look at my 2022 plans, when I think about how long it's taking me to work on this project, and then I still also have Cinderella Wishes Upon a Dream as my other full coverage piece. I don't want these projects to be lingering around for 10 years. So I'm going to probably adjust some of my stitching plans in 22 to try to get some real numbers into both projects. So at least one of those projects can potentially get finished in the next 2 years. It's unlikely to be Silks and Crafts because that's pretty darn big. So that's it of the stitching that I can show you right now. So you ready for some haul? Ready for some haul? All right. Okay. So I went to the International Quilt Festival here in Houston. The company that hosts the quilt festivals is based in Houston. And so they, some pink lemonade today. Not pink lemonade, strawberry lemonade. So they host an annual quilt festival here in Houston. I wasn't going to go because they were originally not going to have any COVID protocols in place. But then they changed it so that masks were enforced and required. And so I had a particular need that I was going to shop for at the festival. And so I kind of gave myself permission when I got there to be like, if I felt unsafe, if I found that people were not being enforced on wearing their mask, or people were being rude and things about that as it relates to the COVID protocols, then I would just leave. But thankfully, everyone seemed to be in compliance. There were a handful of people here and there who didn't, and but they were being called out on and being asked to take care of it. So I did. It's a big haul, and you won't see it for a few months. I did purchase a sewing cabinet. That's the reason why I went, and we did find one. It's not the most expensive. It's not the least expensive, at least I don't think. But it is, I think, what's going to work for my space and for the way that I organize and stitch and everything. I'm going to talk more about the way I organize and stuff because it has now begun in earnest, the reorganization of my crafting studio. And so it is going to probably take me, the delivery time is 10 to 12 weeks. So I was told to expect the delivery of my cabinet sometime at the end of January, which is when my birthday is. So I think it's a fantastic arrival time. But in the meantime, I am going to go ahead and start redoing my, going through the organizational process of my quilting and craft space. And right now it's also serving as my home office, but we anticipate going back into the office for my job probably in January. It does get pushed back because he is looking at COVID protocols and safety of the team and everything like that. So it may not be in January when we go back, but as of right now, that's the target. That's the target, is for us to go back in the office in January. And so it will be a really great coinciding because I'll be able to take all the stuff that's currently taking up a lot of space because of work. We'll leave that space and I'll be able to really start to organize my space for crafting purposes. So that's my big haul that you'll see. And I am going to start filming some of my organization so that way I can put together a before, a behind the scenes, and then we'll do a full-on tour when everything is set up. Obviously, that won't be until February or March once everything gets moved in and I have moved everything in. I'm not going to be purchasing any new furniture for that space until I get the quilting cabinet in, so that I make sure that whatever is purchased, if needed, I don't know if I'm going to need anything, but if I purchase anything else, that it's going to fit within the space around that cabinet. So, but with that, at the quilt festival, I did purchase some trim that are good finishing pieces. So here are my 4 little pieces. My dog snagged my black one here, and so I'm repurposing a Forbidden Fiber Co. card. But I got some black bric-a-brac, a white little polka dotty kind of lacy thing, the orange one. I feel like that looks a little pumpkin-esque, and then I have a mustard bric-a-brac one. So, so adding to my finishing toolkit. Okay. Then I have my 3 Fabric of the Month Club that I received in October. So the first one is from Rogue Stitching, and this is called Midnight Moss. It is sunflower printed fabric. So here it is, and it's printed, so the back of it is white. So it's a nice dark kind of green color. I like it, and I am going to be giving up on the Rogue Stitching Fabric of the Month Club, not for any reason other than I don't start new projects quickly enough to warrant needing 3 Fabric of the Month clubs. And currently I'm in 3, and so, but they are having open enrollment right now for Fabric of the Month Club for Rogue Stitching. Again, I've been very happy with what I've received. And so if you are thinking about a Fabric of the Month Club and you like the idea of a variety of different types of fabric and from different types of different companies, I do recommend Rogue Stitching, because I've been very happy with what I've received from them. And so, but that is open, with everything, my projects, all my haul, everything will be in the show description down below. I also received my fabric from Coloring Cotton. I am in the neutral club, so this is 32 count Lugana willow, and that's what that looks like. Standard, beigey kind of neutral. It's going to be really easy for me to find something to kit this to because it's really a very nice color. I really like it. So, all right. And now, Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers. Oh my goodness. So amazing. So this is Wicked Nights. Again, 32 count Lugana. Look at this. Isn't this ridiculous? Don't you just want to eat it? I mean, it's just, look at that. I love it. I love it so much. That's the other part of it. Oh, so bright. I love these bright colors. And I'm just going to continue to think about what can I stitch on for them. All right. Next up is that I purchased I was very much enabled, and I saw these Watermark kind of little banner things from Nerdy Needle Design. And so I got my own little stitchy things. I also got the acrylic one, which you can see it's actually the same, but it's white stitching on acrylic, right? So the difference is that depending what you're stitching on, it may be better to have something that's clear and white if it's something darker so that it's on there versus something lighter. You'll need that. So that's why I got both. I love it. You get to pick your font that you like, and if it's free, she downloads it if she doesn't have it, and so. But yeah, I love it. I love these. I can't wait to make my pictures look more professional, even though I take really bad pictures, but that's okay. All right. Next up is I made some purchases from a store called Down Sunshine Lane. Yeah, Down Sunshine Lane. Again, everything's going to be down below. And so I purchased a couple of things from them. I went there for a specific purpose. I was searching for a particular pattern. But when you're there, you can't just buy one pattern, right? And so I did get a thread drop. This is from My Big Toe Designs. I am a geek. We are big Doctor Who fans in this house. In fact, it was one of the first things that my husband and I did on a date. We started watching Doctor Who together. I had already watched it. He was a newbie, and I had to bring him in. So, but that's okay. Now he's a fan. But look at this little Doctor Who inspired thread keep with a TARDIS and a star and a little blue thingy. So I love it. But yeah, can't wait to use that for something, anything. I'll just use it for something. I also purchased from Down Sunshine Lane a pattern from Madame Chantilly because, as you know, I love Halloween. So I purchased Halloween Cinderella. Look how adorable that is. Cinderella is my favorite Disney movie, as you may realize, because I also am stitching on Cinderella Wishes Upon a Dream. But I just like I don't know what it is about the Cinderella fairy tale. I just like it. But isn't that cute? I can't wait to stitch that up next year. This is not really plans, but one of my things I've been thinking about possibly doing in 22 was doing like a spooky year, like a spooky stitching SAL, like a year-long spook. But I had to decide. Now, this is the pattern that I specifically Googled. Sorry for the crinkles, everyone. that I specifically Googled for, and what took me to down Sunshine Lane, which is this ridiculously cute woodland creatures in sweaters. It's in this language. So the website says it's from Germany, but I think the website's also on the bottom of it says DE. So DE I think is Denmark, but I'm not 100% sure. Maybe it is. Oh, my husband just said to me, I don't know if you heard him, it's Deutsch. It's Deutschland. It's German. All right. That makes sense. They don't call it German. They call it. So there you go. So it's German. And it's from UB Designs. Unfortunately, I did check the website today. They are out of stock of this design on Down Sunshine Lane, but they do have some other designs from UB Designs that are available. But isn't that just great? I do need your help. I'm having a bit of decision paralysis on what I want to stitch this on. I do plan on starting this. I think this is a fantastic winter stitching. I really want to start it. I was so inspired when I saw it. I can't decide if I want to stitch this on. It's going to still probably be 32 count Lugana. That is my favorite, even though it's not the most sustainable. I'm slowly getting married to the idea that I really need to keep stitching on the linen, because I'm really trying to make my decision making to be on sustainable materials and that are, you know, thinking 7 generations ahead kind of thing, right? But I really prefer stitching on even weave. But that being said, I can't decide if I should go ahead and do this on Zweigard's Snow White, so that really bright white, right? Because it's obviously stitch on white and it creates the snowy illusion in the background. Or I've considered getting an opalescent, a white opalescent, to give it a sparkle to it. The other option is I stitch it on the white, and where the blanc is called for in this either the snowflakes or on the snow ground, like to get like the each wall that has that shimmer that's in the fabric as well. So I don't know. I think either one of them are going to be easy to get, right? Because they're not dyed fabrics, and it's just, you know, maybe 1, 2, 3 Stitch or any other of the big box kind of stores, or any of the stitching LNSs that keep those in stock all the time. But I don't know. Do you have an opinion? Let me know. I'm going to decide. I'm probably going to decide in the next couple of weeks, so that way I can work on this over December. But it might not get started until January anyway. So let me know. Let me know your thoughts. I am open to suggestions. Okay, just a few more things. I did buy a lot, didn't I? I also purchased, because I did have these FFOs, I wanted to label my work. And so I went ahead and purchased little handmade tags. I got them uncut. I'm not sure why. I don't know why I didn't pay to get them cut. Probably because I was like, I can cut them, no big deal. And also, I think it's a little easier to store them if they are not cut. But look at these. These are little handmade by Bobo Jessie labels. I got this from Ever Emblem. And you can pick your fonts and everything. The font, the handmade by, is the same font, has my little watermark. But isn't that just the cutest little thing? And this is the kawaii thread design that they had. You could not select the color of the thread. So if you wanted a different color, it was only in red. Or at least I couldn't figure out if you could ask for it in a different color. It didn't bother me it was in red, so I went ahead and got it in that. But it's an iron-on, so you just press it on and you iron it. And then it sticks on that way. And then what I'm going to do for the frames is I'll probably just glue it on or in some way to make sure that it stays on, because I'm obviously not going to iron it onto a frame. Okay, I got 2 project bags from the 805 Stitcher. And so here is the first one. This is the front of it with the inside. And here is the back, which is these cute little gnomes carrying around little trees. Isn't that ridiculously cute? And 805 does a matching needle minder, and here is the matching needle minder. Even though it's not Christmassy in theme, I think these trees that they're carrying are Christmas trees. I just decided that they are. And I'm probably going to put a Christmas project in this bag. I also purchased a other bag because I have a problem. But also, I love dachshunds. So here's the front of this bag. And I love Halloween. How do you not get this bag when you see this? right? Because right there is a dachshund and a little mouse dressed up like a dinosaur here, right here, sorry, right here. And like, it's just little critters in costuming. It's just so cute. How can you not get that? And here is the matching needle minder. The 805 Stitcher is currently having a sale on her Etsy site for the Halloween themed bags, and I believe she still has a couple of these, or at least one, if you are interested in that one. That's it on the haul that I am keeping. So yes. What does that mean? There's haul that I am giving away. There's gonna be some crinkle noises. Apologies. So I want to say, I had already planned this to begin with because I wanted to give a thank you to all of you, my wonderful stitchy friends who spend your time with me. And also, I did reach 500 subscribers. So this is both a thank you to everyone who helped me get to that 500 subscribers. You should know that it is pretty exciting when that happens. I know that I'm not like, I watch the Flosstubers who have 10,000 followers and stuff like that. I see how well put together their videos are and how much the types of stitching that they do. And I know that I'm not the same. And I don't expect to ever get to those kinds of numbers. So but I'm also really surprised I've even gotten to 500. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So has a winter solstice, holiday, whatever you want it to be, and in celebration of reaching 500 subscribers, I am going to do a bit of a giveaway. Now, everything here is from the Top Knot Stitcher, Abby. And so, first up is this little needle minder and this little fun skull needle minder because, I love spooky stitching. So, there you go. So, that's going to be that. There's a theme. You're going to notice a theme. So first, the package includes the needle minder. And the pattern I'm going to be giving away is Freddie Mercury. I'm so sorry that there's a bit of a glare. I don't want to take this out of the packaging since it belongs to one of you. But there's Freddie Mercury. So this is part of the Meow the Merrier line that the cross stitch designers, a lot of them were doing. Last year they did the Moo the Merrier, and now it's the Meow the Merrier. And but look at that. Isn't he just adorable? Look at that mustache. So yeah. So this is what I'm going to be giving away. And I know what you're thinking, Jessie. You're like, hey, Jessie, didn't all these Moo the Merriers and the Meow the Merriers, weren't they using a special line of thread from Sulky? I don't want to buy the Sulky thread. I don't know if I like them. I've never used them before and everything like that. Well, guess what, y'all? Boo. Boo. That's right. Part of this giveaway package, as my holiday winter solstice gift to you, is the Sulky thread pack for the Moo the Merrier and the Meow the Merrier. I made sure that the one I picked was one holiday neutral because I want this to be available to everybody. Not everyone stitches holiday themed stitching. And I think that Freddie Mercury is just everything. So I intentionally picked one that was universal in theme because who doesn't love Queen? And also that did use the Sulky pack. So this way, if you were curious and you've never used it before, you now will have the thread pack and you can stitch up Freddie Mercury, and then you can decide if you like using the Sulky. So this is a gift to you. I've not stitched with Sulky at all, so I don't know how it is. Let me know if you are fortunate enough to get this. Let me know how you like working with it. Has for cross stitching. I do use Sulky for quilting, so this is not. So I am used to the thread, and in fact, I do use a 12 weight for cross stitching. For quilting. So how are you going to get this? I would like the word that you are going to use is queen. Queen. That is what I'm going to be searching for. So please be sure that you spell it correctly. Standard giveaway rules apply. You do need to be over the age of 18 years old because you have to legally be able to give me your address. And please do not use the word giveaway or anything that might imply that there's a giveaway in your comment. If you do, I'll have to delete it, and I don't want to do that. But this helps avoid the spammers from coming in and trying to do bad things. And so, but use the word queen in a sentence everywhere you like. If you need a prompt, tell me what your favorite Queen song is. There was an ABC sing along for Queen on last week, and my husband and I definitely were singing along. We discovered that some of those songs are actually pretty hard to sing, and we decided the easiest song to karaoke to is "We Will Rock You." Actually, I don't know if it's a we. I've decided that, but but let me know. I will be closing this. I film my regular floss tubes once a month, usually the first weekend of the month. So I will be closing this giveaway on Friday, December 3rd. So you have until 11:59 that night. Once it hits midnight, then all bets are off on whenever I'm going to record, and then that's when I'm going to go ahead and pick the winner for it. And the hopes is that it'll be able to arrive to you early enough in December that if you do consider this to be part of your holiday stitching, since it is part of the more the merrier, that you can stitch on it. And I am going to go ahead and open it up to everybody. I don't know how international shipping is right now. Hopefully it's not too bad. But I don't want anyone to feel like they can't participate just because they happen to live in Canada or Britain or someplace or Australia. I'll send it to you. All right. This is my solstice gift to y'all, and for saying thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate you. Okay. All right. Now we're going to move on to the spoiler parts, and I realize I don't have everything with me, so I'm going to pause for a minute. So I'll be right back. All right, hopefully that was pretty seamless. But now this is where I tell that anybody who's related to me, spoiler alert, if you do not want to be spoiled by any potential gift that you may be giving, not saying you're getting one, not saying you're not getting one, but there is a possibility that you may be getting one and you don't want to be spoiled, this is the time to say goodbye. Last call, bye-bye family. All right, here we are. So I did have one new start, and I am now working on Hello by Liz Matthews, Gather Here. So this is what it will look like when it is done. And I am so excited by how far I've gotten so far on this. Here it is. Sorry, fingers cut stuff. Here we are. I have finished all of the bird, all of the leaves, and the berries. And all that's left is the words down there. I am stitching this 2/2. This is 32 count Lugana. It's Storm by Crosswind Collections that I got as part of my Fabric of the Month Club from Rogue Stitching. And I'm using Wits and Wisdom from Forbidden Fiber Co. is the floss. So there it is. There is a bit of an error. So I had stitched these legs right here. I had originally stitched back here. So it was actually moved over about 4 stitches. So as a result, everything over here, this leaf, this berry, is about 4 stitches too close to the bird. I had to also make adjustments down here to make everything fit. I think it's okay. Thankfully, it's only about 4 stitches. It'll be pretty easy to modify the wording underneath so that it's balanced. But I'm hoping that no one can tell that I had that mistake and that everything still looks all right. If it looks bad, don't tell me. But I had already stitched, I was already at something like 30% done or something like that before I realized the mistake. And so I couldn't, or 40%, it was actually quite a bit done. And I was just not going to frog it to correct it when I felt like I could just fudge some of that to make it look better. I'm the only person who's going to know, and you are going to be the only ones who's going to know that the mistake is there, and hopefully it looks fine. So that's my work in progress, or my new start and now work in progress. Next time you see it, it should be a fully finished object. The plan is to try to get it to the framers in the next week or two, so that way it's back in plenty of time for the holidays. All right. So next up is going to be my finish and fully finished object, my FFO. This is for Caterpillar Cross Stitch, Seize the Day. And I'm going to insert a picture right here of where it was the last time that you saw it. And I'm very excited to show that I have completed it. And here it is. Ta-da! Isn't this amazing? I love it so much. So I do get the framing done from Michaels, and I think they did an absolutely wonderful job. So I stitched this on 32 count color and cotton sandstone. And I used all of the called for DMC, and the only conversion I made was on the mermaid. I changed the hair color to the hair color of the person that's receiving this gift. But she loves the beach, and so we were very much looking for the blue to kind of give us tone of the water, and then the wood to kind of have like beach driftwood kind of look to it. So really super happy with it. I love it so much. I'm really happy with how this came out. So that's my finish and FFO. And then last but not least, in terms of stitching to show you, is that you've already seen the finish for this, which is the Sing a Sampler by Silver Creek Samplers. Silver Creek Designs. And I did this on 36 count Heartland, 36 count Edinburgh linen Heartland by Picture This Plus. I did this 2/2 with inspired by the Jan Hicks conversion, but I did do my own conversion. I basically was inspired by her color changes, but then I utilized my own conversion. If anyone's interested in knowing what they are, you're more than welcome to send me a DM in Instagram, and I'm happy to share the list with you. But ready? Here it is. Ta-da! Isn't that amazing? I love it so much. So we picked a Lennon looking green. Oh, it's not as bright as on the screen as it is in person. But we intentionally were looking for a matte that kind of gave the coloring of the hills at the very beginning of The Sound of Music, that to kind of be inspired by the hills. And the wood that we picked, the brown that we picked, was thinking about that part where Maria is kind of slowly walking through the little small, not forest, but the little branches of trees, and there's that little brook. So that's what we were inspired for in selecting the framing for the Sing a Sampler. I'm so happy with how it turned out. I hope that the recipient loves it and keeps it forever. I mean, her name's on it, so she has no choice but to keep it forever. But that's it, what I have in terms of stitching. So let's talk about plans going forward. So for November, I am participating in the Whips Be Gone 2021 challenge hosted by the Devoted Quilter. And my goal is to finish Gather Here. So that's going to be my first priority and goal. I am out of floss, but I did order some more from Forbidden Fiber Co. It's in transit, should arrive here either Monday or Tuesday. So I should be able to finish that in the next week or so. I also have one other whip that I'm going to be working on, which is the MLK Sampler by Stone Creek Designs Sampler. Stone Creek. Again, everything will be down below. And so I'm working on those, and that's going to be that's my quarter two of the 100 days of the Whips Be Gone challenge. Is those goals. I also have 2 more whips that I'm going to be working into try to get done by the end of the year, although I don't know if I'll finish both of them, but at least one of them I should be able to finish before the end of the year. And then I'll move into December, which will turn into holiday stitching. I will be doing Flossmas videos. I really enjoyed doing the Flossoween. I hope everyone who did watch it enjoyed that with me. And so I plan on doing Flossmas. And so I do have the same companies. I have Yuletide Ball from Forbidden Fiber Co. And I am also getting the nice list from Black Needle Society. So those are going to be what I'm going to be opening, as well as I have a couple of advent boxes of non-stitchy related things, and chocolate and tea. So hopefully everyone will enjoy that. Since I picked Forbidden Fiber Co.'s kit to stitch on for Flossoween, my thinking is that I'll probably pick the pattern that's that is part of the nice list, depending on when it comes in the in the box, on what day it gets opened. That's probably what I'll get picked, but I'll probably do a rotation of different types of holiday stitching in the month of December. And but then looking into 2022, and I know we're all thinking about 2022, it's hard to believe, but I wanted to go ahead and let y'all know about it, so that way if you wanted to join me in any of these groups, you can. So first and foremost, I had a fantastic time doing magical stitches this year. It was a lot of fun. It helped me reach my reading goals, although I did get a little bit off track in October because I was so focused on stitching and some other reading. I did not read The Mark of Athena, and so I'm behind, and then we had to return it to the library. So now we're like, what do we do? So we buy. I plan on finishing the series. 2 books left in the series. I'm going to finish the series. It'd be silly not to. But I had a really great time doing magical stitches. I do not plan on joining magical stitches in 22. They're going to be doing mystery, and I don't know if that's what I really want to be doing. And honestly, it was a lot to keep track of. So many different things, and I don't have enough whips to do the challenge stitching very well. So I was almost always picking my oldest whip, and so for me it didn't quite work. So I'm going to kind of adjust my plans for 22 to look for different types of challenges that may be more in line with the way I like to stitch. So with that being said, I'm going to be looking into doing No New Starts 2022, and there is a Facebook group, and it will that they are doing it a little bit different. So I did not do No New Starts in 21 because who needs that? If I see something I want to start it, right? But I did like the idea of limiting the number of whips that I have. So they do have 3 different tiers. The first one is No New Starts. However many whips you have, you're working on that. That's it, No New Starts. But I'm going to be doing the second tier, which is 22 total projects going at any given time. So you have up to you. So you can have a new start if you have less than 22 whips, right? So if you have 21 whips, you can start a new whip, you can start a new project, and then you hit 22, but you're not allowed to go over that if you stay in that category. And then there's a third category for people who fail and need to start things. I don't remember what the rules are, and I'm not saying fail, but again, sometimes you're going to want to start things. So that's what I'm going to try to do. Right now, as of today, I have 17 whips, and I anticipate minimum finishing 2 of those, which will take me down to 15. And if I have another 2 that I finish, that takes me down to 13, which means I can start up to 9 projects and still be within that 22 limit. And I kind of like the flexibility of that, but at the same time, that structure. And of course, it's a challenge group, so there's stitching goals, and some of it I think is based on items, but I think you can also do just trying to move down the line. I'm hoping that's going to work. If it doesn't, I'll leave the group, right? Like, stitch how you want to stitch. I like doing these challenge groups because it keeps me moving on projects, but at the end of the day, it's a hobby and I want to have fun. If I'm not having fun in a group, I'm not going to do it. And then I'm still going to do a whip go board. I don't know what that's going to look like yet because it depends on how many whips I have at the end of the year, and also what it looks like the challenges are going to look like in No You Start. But I'll do a whip go board, and hopefully it will fit and work in. I also plan on continuing in full coverage fanatics. I did not actually do the challenges in 21. It ended up being because of magical stitches. It was just really hard to keep up with both. I only have 2 full coverage projects. I don't do only full coverage projects, but I want to be sure I kind of focus on it. So they have 22 and 22, so 22,000 stitches in 22. They also have a Wonders of the World challenge where it's 5,000 stitches on a single project to get a Wonder of the World, and there's 20 of them for the whole year. And I like that because I think I can do 5,000 stitches, not necessarily in a month, but maybe in a quarter, and which only gives me 4 Wonders of the World. I know, I realize that, but but I like the idea of trying to do something like that and then being able to focus on my 2 full coverage pieces that I want to get done in less than 10 years. But that's it. I don't remember. Oh, and I will do 24-hour cross stitch again. I love doing those weekends, so I'm part of that Facebook group. Full coverage fanatics, you do need to go through admin questions in order to be able to join. So remember, you have to answer those questions before you're allowed to join. And same thing with No New Starts. You do have to answer admin questions in order to join. I don't remember if there are admin questions for 24-hour cross stitch. I believe there are admin questions for magical stitches if you decide you want to join magical stitches in 22. It is a non-competition year in magical stitches, by the way, which I think will also create some flexibility for those of you who are interested in doing the mystery. And I think it's going to be Clue-like it's going to be like a Clue game. So I think that's it. That's everything. I had to redo. I hope this video is not too long. I have no idea because of the way I'm recording it. And that's it, I think. So I will end this with, for those of you in the United States and you are celebrating Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving. I also would like to say that Thanksgiving is not necessarily a happy holiday for many people. It's not for me. I have sadness associated with the holidays. But that also is that if you are a person who's an active ally and want to support BIPOC people, Black and Indigenous people of color, that Thanksgiving is also has some negative history to it for the Indigenous peoples of the Americas, and so I want to encourage you to remain grateful. The purpose of Thanksgiving is gratitude and being and being thankful for whatever you're thankful for, like, right? Because you're going into hard times, you're going into winter, at least in the northern hemisphere, right, in the United States, and so it's intended to be a time period to reflect, but also consider that part of that reflection is that in order for us to be here, that there were people who were here who got displaced and had some really negative impact from colonization, and so I encourage you to purchase and support Indigenous people and their businesses, wherever that may be. Home decor, jewelry, beading, buy books, go to museums that are displaying the artwork. If you are near a place that, in Texas, there actually are there is a couple of reservations that have made it into cultural centers and everything. Like, see what you can do, or go learn. Even if you can't financially support anybody, go learn. Go learn about the Indigenous people in where you live. Like, whose land are you on? Learn about their culture. Learn about what fantastic things that they did. There's a lot of things that we have, as part of our culture that we gained from our experiences with the people who were here first. So that's it. That's my encouragement to you. Don't forget, giveaway Queen. If you need a prompt, tell me your favorite Queen song to sing to. And otherwise, I'll see you in that first weekend in December for our regular Flosstube. And when I will announce the giveaway will be announced in that regular Flosstube. But I will be back on December 1st for Flossmas. All right? Until then, I hope wherever you are, I hope you're having a stitching good time and be grateful for everything that you have. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.